Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Christian and this is my channel. So, in my last video, I know talking about the world's current events and everything that's going on right now out in our world with our economy, with just the government, the shutdowns, everything happening. The only word I could use to describe it was crazy. I kept saying things have gotten crazy. Well, you're in luck. I've got a new vocabulary word for you today. I'm expanding my horizon. And today the word is crazier. I know you're going to say, Christian, great vocabulary. You're really on it. I don't know what else to use. I mean, there's a lot of words, but for me, that one works. Our world has gotten crazier overnight, over the past couple of days. Since my last video, since I recorded my last video, we've seen states completely shut down, go to shelter-in-place calls. We've seen more businesses closed. I know I'm in Kentucky, and since my last video, all non-essential retail businesses have been ordered to close. So more and more people are losing their job every day, and there's not a better word for me to say than things have gotten crazier. Excuse me. And so now's the time we need to step it up. In my last video, we talked about budgeting, how you need a budget, get a budget in place, and how that's going to help you through this economic downturn or recession, whatever it might become in 2020. And so budget is your starting place. That's where you need. That's what you need first and foremost. That's where you start at. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and go watch that video. I'll try to link it in here now. Still new at this. Don't know if I'll be able to figure that out, but I'll have it at the end of the video as well, or at least in the description where you can get to it easily. So go check out that video. And if you enjoy what you're seeing so far, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell button notification. That way you get notified when I put up new videos. But let's get right into it with emergency fund. That's the second step, and at this point in time, probably the most important thing you can do right now is start looking at your emergency fund, building that if you haven't already, and start making a plan to utilize that if you have to. So your emergency fund is just a fund. It's a bank account. It's cash, however you do it. Hopefully it's in a bank account, specifically a high interest savings, high yield savings account, so that you can draw a little bit of interest off of it while just sitting there waiting. But your emergency fund is money set aside for an emergency, just like it sounds. It's real simple, but it's money that's set aside so when everything goes wrong, when you have something come up and you need that money, you've got it available to you, and you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay for this, taking on enormous credit card debt, any of those instances. And so utilize your emergency fund when you need to, but go ahead and set out your guidelines of when you need to, what justifies that, whether it be an unforeseen medical thing come up, you've got medical bills that you got to pay for. You can draw on your emergency fund for that if you don't have it in your normal working bank account. Your car has issues, so you have car repairs that you have to take care of, or you have to buy a new car, or, and a very real possibility and a scary possibility in today's time and age, is your job is shut down. The business that you work for has closed its doors. You've been laid off temporarily or permanently. This is where your emergency fund, where you need to start getting this in order. Hopefully it's already in order, but if it's not, get it in order and start using that if you need to. It's not money that you set aside to invest with. It's not money that you're currently investing with, hoping to get a return on, make more money off of it. It's money that should be very liquid and easily and readily available when you need it. And so have that money just sitting in a bank account. If you're a cash person, keep it in a safe somewhere. I'll argue with you that a bank account's going to be much safer, and if it's sitting in a bank account, have it in a high yield savings account like I mentioned earlier, so that you'll at least draw a little bit of something off of it. It's nothing that's going to make you rich. You're not going to make a ton of money, but you might as well get something out of it while it's just sitting there. And so as far as bank accounts go, high interest, I like Ally Bank, Discover Bank are two that we can talk about. American Express, I've seen where they've opened up a high interest savings account style banking, and so there's a lot of options out there. Find the one that works for you, but also realize that these savings accounts, it might take a few days to get your money, which is still good. In most cases, that'll be just good enough. But if you're at a point where you know you're going to need the money, start drawing some of that money out, transferring it to your local bank or whatever you use for your normal day-to-day banking. If it's in a savings account, you can get on most, I think it's all, but on most for sure, it's 6 transactions per month are what you can use from it. So if you're only going to pay 6 things in the month out of that, then that's fine. But anything beyond that, you're going to be paying penalties on. And so you can pay straight from your savings account, and that's about the easiest way to do it. Or just transfer some out, transfer a larger sum to your working bank account, and that way it's ready and available when you need it and when you have to use it. And so take your money, use it wisely. It's money that you've worked hard for over the years. Put some away. Use your budget. Take your budget and whatever you have left over, save what you can. Put in a line item for your emergency fund, and put as much of that in as you can and get that built up if you're in a position where you can right now. Ideally, you want to have 3 to 6 months of your expenses set aside in an emergency fund. If you can do any more than that, then that's that much better. If you can get up to a year, that's spectacular. But have 3 to 6 months of expenses set away. That way, if something does happen, hopefully nothing's happened to you yet. So start planning for this just in case it does come. We all want to think it's not going to happen to us, but it might. And so get those expenses set away. Look at your budget. Figure out what you need to live off of, what your minimum is to make ends meet, to buy your groceries, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, insurance, whatever it might be. Go ahead and get that number set up. Multiply it by 3 to 6 to get your 3 to 6 month budget for your emergency fund, and then start putting every bit of money, extra money that you can into that. Save. It's all about taking care of yourself. It might not be fun for a little bit, but that's the reality that we're in right now. There's not a whole lot you can go do and spend money on at this current state and time that I'm recording this anyways, and so it's a perfect opportunity if you're able to start building your emergency fund. And then if you've already got it built, go ahead and cushion it a little extra. Put a little bit of extra in there as a emergency for your emergency fund, if you will. But keep building that up and get that in its best place you can. That's the best thing you can do right now. I wouldn't advocate investing right now. If you've got the means to do it, then that's great, but we'll talk about that in a later video. But my goal for you right now is to make sure your emergency fund is where it should be in order to take care of yourself and your family if you should have to use it. And so get that set aside. Look at your bank accounts. Figure out which one will be best for you if you're going into a savings account. Look at the interest rates. Draw a little bit. Try to find something that's easy to do over 1%. Most right now are 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, somewhere in that range. And then put the money into there and let it sit and then forget about it until you need it. Another option, if worst has come to worst and you've already lost your job, something's happened where you need to draw on your emergency fund, but you don't have one set aside yet. Another option, and I'm not an advocate for loans or borrowing money, but if you own a home, you can get a home equity line of credit. Go ahead and get that set up as well if you're able to. All that is a personal loan per se. It's a loan that you can draw on for whatever reason, and usually it's at a lower interest rate than a credit card would be or any other type of loan would be at. And so it's a good tool to have in your toolbox if you should need it. So get your home equity line of credit set up. How they work, at least in my case and for most of them, you can draw out whatever you need out of that within your limit that is set, and then all you have to do is pay interest on that. Right now, I believe interest rates are 3.25, somewhere 4%, somewhere in that area on most home equity lines, and so all you would have to do is pay that interest. If you needed $2,000 to pay a bill or get your car fixed, you can take that $2,000 out and then pay the interest back until you're able to make the additional payments to pay the bank back fully. And so that's just another option, something to think about should you need it. I'm all about having as many options, as many tools in your toolbox as possible during times like this especially. And so, guys, I hope this helps. It's just a quick little overview, and I'll try to get more into detail, especially my last video on budgeting. I'll be making another video here in the future showing you exactly how to do a budget. I'll make one with you and we'll go through it step by step. But right now my concern is the economic situation that we're in currently, and I just want to make sure you have a good general overview of everything going on and what steps you should take to protect yourself and keep yourself financially stable during this. And so again, guys, I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and hit the bell so you get notified every time a new video comes online. Give me a like, leave a comment below if you have any questions, any thoughts. Go ahead and add your opinions as well, and I'll reply to every comment that I get. I want this to be a community thing, these videos, not just me sitting here talking, but I want to get involved with each and every one of you as well. And so, guys, I appreciate it. You mean the world to me. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy. We'll see you next time.